Up to now we have seen Indo-Greeks, Shakas, and Kushanas. Now we are going to start with the Satavahanas, post-Mauryan Satavahanas. When it comes to Satavahanas, the significance of Satavahanas is they were the first rulers who almost they were the one for the first time almost they touched Saurashtra also at a maximum extent. But it was keep on changing because this side now contemporaries Satavahanas. Here Shakas were there. Here Kushanas. Then when it comes to for some time Shungas, later Kanvas, and this area is very troublesome area. For some time Greeks also controlled, then Kushanas controlled, and this side Kharavela. And these are Sangam states. And this one Kushanas, they were continuously fighting. Just I am writing here Indo-Greeks also, Parthians also. At different points of time, different people were ruling these. But when it comes to Satavahanas, main contenders were Shakas. Because for a very long time, Shakas were controlling these territories and Satavahanas were controlling these territories. We hear more of the conflicts between Satavahanas and Shakas. Even Satavahanas and Shungas also had conflict. Satavahanas and Kharavela also had the conflicts. So this way, their territories, now when it comes to, for example, Kharavela. Kharavela is going to control the entire east coast. According to the Hathigumpa inscription of Kharavela, he controlled this entire strip of land. What does it mean? Then it shows he had conflict with the Satavahanas also, he had conflicts with the Sangam countries also, Sangam kingdoms also. That is what Hathigumpa inscription clearly says. First you make a diagram like this. Welcome Shweta, welcome Mujafar. Am I audible to you? Is the screen and audio visible to you clearly? Please note down this. Today we are going to focus on Satavahanas, different rulers, different contribution, relationship with other people. Sound issue, Mujaffar. Other students are able to hear properly. Please check at your end. Now one by one. Now you see this geographic land. Just for few seconds, just you recollect what has happened in the Deccan since we started our history optional classes. In this particular part where we started, the moment we hear about Deccan in our time scale, we hear about Paleolithic settlements. Do you remember? Ayan and Sanju, do you remember some of the Paleolithic and or Neolithic, Chalcolithic settlements in Deccan part, in Karnataka part? Are you able to recollect some of the important settlements? Hunsgi, you remember some of the settlements? Hunsgi, Brahmagiri, Maski, those are the some of the settlements. When it comes to Paleolithic, next Neolithic, then Chalcolithic, Kibbanahalli, then Pickley Hall, many settlements were there. Then later, after Neolithic settlements, some of them became megalithic settlements that we are going to see after dealing with post-Mauryan, or while dealing with the Sangam states, we will see that. After that, these areas came under one Mahajanapada. Do you remember what is the Mahajanapada that was situated in this Deccan part? What is the Mahajanapada name which was situated Deccan based? Ashmaka Mahajanapada. And after Ashmaka Mahajanapada, like so many Mahajanapadas were there, Magadha Janapada, small thing, and other 16 Mahajanapadas, here Ashmaka. Due to Magadhan imperialist policies, Magadha conquered all the territories, all the Mahajanapadas. Similarly, it conquered Ashmaka Mahajanapada also. And this part also became the Mauryan Empire. Mauryan Empire nothing but Magadhan Empire. This Mauryan Empire gave Ashoka edicts also, both minor rock edicts as well as major rock edicts. Maski, minor rock edict, that is the place where the name Ashoka also come into light. Erragudi, Sannati, Kibbanahalli, there are other settlements, other sites where we got evidence related to Mauryan Empire. This became part of Mauryan Empire. When it became part of Mauryan Empire, whatever the Gangetic Valley technology, Gangetic Valley culture, Gangetic Valley, the social structure, economic structure, everything percolates into Deccan also. Because entire part is Indian, entire almost Indian subcontinent came under single authority. Whatever decision the central government takes, naturally it affects the remote parts also. At this point of time, when Mauryans were ruling, all the traditions, Gangetic Valley traditions also entered. Buddhism entered, Jainism entered, Bhagavatism entered. Now, by post-Mauryan time period, Brahmanical revival is taking place. Brahmanical traditions are also coming. Culturally, this became the connecting point between Gangetic Valley and Deep South. You can, because it is located in the middle, and this is Deep South. When it comes to Deep South, the own local vernacular language is emerging. That's why we call in the beginning, the script is here Brahmi script, language is Prakrit when it comes to the northern parts. When it comes to here, we call Tamil Brahmi script. So Tamil Brahmi, this is the beginning stage. Between this point and this point, this is the connecting point. That is why Buddhism enters, Jainism enters, then Hinduism enters. All the traditions percolate till Deep South. This acted as a bridge. Now we are going to see what kind of policies Satavahanas followed and how they expanded their empire to the both sides. Now you see, this side Bay of Bengal Sea and this side Arabian Sea. So they touched both seas at the maximum extent of their empire. Now, let us write particularly sources. Sources, you make a diagram, this one. Literary sources, archaeological sources. When it comes to literary sources, we have Puranas. Puranas talk about Satavahanas. And there are so many Puranas like Matsya Purana, Vayu Purana, Brahmanda Purana. These Puranas talk about Andhras. They did not refer Satavahanas, they referred as Andhras. In other literature, these Andhras are nothing but Satavahanas. Puranas. Then Hala, Ghada, Saptasati. Hala, he was a Satavahana ruler. He himself has written a book, Ghada Saptasati. Sapta means 7, Sati means 100. 700 poems. These poems give details about how the society, economic conditions were there during this time period. Next. These are the direct references. Indirectly, Buddhist Jatakas also talk about these conditions in Deccan conditions. When it comes to archaeological inscriptions, we have Naneghat inscription, Nashik inscription, Battiprolu inscription. Then we have coins, Jogal Tambi near Jogal Tambi. near Nashik. So many coins were identified near Jogaltambi, where the Shaka coins were restruck by Gautami Putra Shatakarni. Literary sources, this one. Please let me know once it is done. Written, all of you? Shall I go to the next slide? Shall I go? All right. Next one, rulers. While studying the rulers, you are also going to see how the allegiance to different religions also will come into play. When it comes to rulers, first one is considered as Shimuka. Shimuka. What is the timeline when he ruled? This is very, very dark part when it comes to Satavahana timeline. Puranas give, like some Puranas give 400 plus years they ruled. Some other Puranas say 200 plus years. Different literature gives different number. We don't know exactly when they started the rule. Shimuka, but broadly the timeline is considered like this. If we take 200 BC, 100 BC, then 1 BC, 100 AD, 200 AD. If we take this timeline, broadly mid 1st century BC to early 3rd century. Early 3rd means after 200 AD, mid 1st century. To early 3rd century AD. Please make it down. This is the timeline. Satavahanas were flourishing. Now you please remember, before this, that means 50 BC, 60 BC, 100, 200. Now this is the one. Shungas continued up to here also. Then Kanvas came. Then this side Kharavela is there. So that is why there is no particular exact date lines also. Always they coincide with the other rulers as well. This is also the time Greeks, then Shakas, Kushanas, in different geographic location. That's why you cannot apply this time scale for entire India. You have to specifically talk about, if you are talking about time scale, to which geographic location you are talking. For this geographic location, different time scale will come. For Gangetic Valley, different time scale will come. Different people ruled. And for this also, different time scale will come. But when it comes to society, this is what you have to say. Politically, different regions under different rulers. But society-wise, almost similar characteristics we will identify in these natural boundaries. From Himalayas to deep south, almost similar kind of social characteristics are emerging. And this is what the social culture or the Indianness is emerging gradually now. Even today also we see the regional differences. Different languages we have, different customs we have, different tribal people we have. At that time period also we were having, and even more contrasting differences. But due to continuous interaction, this side Uttarapada, then this side Dakshinapada, then missionary activities of Buddhism, Jainism, Hinduism, they are all going. And whatever ideas are emerging in Gangetic Valley, they are flowing till here. And whatever ideas are coming here and they are reaching this place. This continuous interaction already started by 1st century BC and 1st century AD. One best example now, when we see these rulers, we will come to know that how this interaction is taking place. Simuka is considered as the founder. Initially, he was patronizing Jainism. Now you see this. Suppose if we consider around mid 1st century BC is the beginning, now around this time period, Jainism. And gradually, different rulers are going to patronize different religions. The next ruler, Kanha. Now the moment Kanha, the name also indicating that it is something related to Krishna. Krishna, the term Krishna became Kanha, another name of Krishna. That means Bhagavatism or Puranic, you can call. Now different terms. Actually the term Hinduism is coming much later. The term Hindu is itself is a very narrow interpretation. At this point of time, what we can describe? Vedic tradition or Brahmanic or Puranic. Different names for this Vedic tradition or Vedic religion, Brahmanic religion, Puranic tradition. All later gradually everything combined into Hinduism. So Krishna, here there was one cave also called Kanheri cave. There are so many caves, Kanheri, Karla, Bhaja, then Ajanta caves are there. Now if you see in these dominions gradually, Buddhism is also going to flourish. Now Jainism, then third ruler, Satakarni. Satakarni, we know details about Satakarni from Nanegat inscription. Nanegat inscription given by his own Queen Naganika. Queen Naganika. By Queen Naganika. So this Nanegat is located near Pune. So now you see, near Pune, near Nashik, these regions, Ajanta, Karla, Kanheri, Baja, so many caves are going to come. At the same time, they are patronizing Jainism also, Bhagavatism also, Buddhism also. In fact, Satakarni, they are going to conduct even Vedic sacrifices also. He performed Vedic sacrifices. Satakarni I is called first great ruler of Satavahanas. He expanded his dominions. In his expansion, he had conflicts with Kharavela also. Kharavela mentions Satakarni as Dakshina Padapati. Now you see, Uttarapada is the communication line. Dakshinapada, another communication line. And Kharavela mentions Satakarni as Dakshina Padapati. So this shows the kind of titles they were taking, and also the kind of regional identity is emerging gradually. And you can see religion-wise, ideologies-wise also, Jainism emerging. Then gradually Bhagavatism, that continued very, very influential way. Later, another most important ruler, Hala. Hala, there were total, according to Puranas, there were total 30 rulers. Hala is 17th ruler. He is a poet. He wrote in Prakrit, Ghada Saptasati. And one significant development about this time is, today we are celebrating Holi. Holi it is attributed to Lord Krishna. And in these poems, he mentions about something related to Holi. So you can see how the traditions, whatever is happening in 1st century BC, 2nd century BC, even today also, it is having the resonance. Whatever they patronized, the Puranic tradition or the Bhagavatism or the Vedic tradition, Brahmanical tradition is changing gradually the shape. Whatever the shape it took, that is what the rest of the history is going to follow. In Ghada Saptasati, next, we don't know exactly the number also. Next important ruler, Gautami Putra Shatakarni. And he is the greatest ruler of Satavahanas. Greatest ruler of Satavahanas. He conquered territories. And he was proud in taking the title also Eka Brahmana. So this shows by this time period, they were very much attached to Brahmanical tradition. But at the same time, he patronized other religions as well. During his time period, Buddhism also flourished. Please note down. All of you have written this one? Please keep telling so that I can stop. Hello, students, not audible? Now am I audible? Okay. So this time, you can see this Nashik cave inscription was given by Gautami Putra Shatakarni's mother, Gautami Balashri. The name Gautami, it was added to the name of Shatakarni. This shows they are giving importance to women, respecting the royal women. But it doesn't mean they are matriarchal society. Matriarchal society means women leading the society, women leading the family, women leading the politics. But it is not the case. Only men only leading. Patriarchal society only. But when it comes to the respect to women, this is one of the indications. Gautami Balashri was name of Gautami Putra mother name of Gautami Putra Shatakarni. Similarly, the next ruler Vasishti Putra Pulomavi. Again, the name is his mother's name. Matrimonial relations with Shakas also. Shakas were continuously fighting. Gautami Putra Shatakarni, he was fighting with the Shakas. He revived the glory of, up to this point of time, different Satavahana rulers lost the territories to Shakas. He once again revived the tradition. And as part of peace treaty, had matrimonial relations also. But by this time, gradually, it is declining. The last important ruler, known important ruler, Yagnashri Shatakarni. He issued coins with ship symbol. This shows they are giving importance to trade, external trade. This shows how they are giving importance to the external trade. And after this, no important ruler, it disintegrated. And when it disintegrated, now you will see the connection with Gupta time period. One part became Vakatakas, one part Kadambas, one part Ikshvakos. And gradually, in this part, Pallavas about to emerge. And here, Chola, Pandya, Chera, they are going to remain. Gradually, their power is also going declining, and you can see Pallavas by 4th century, 5th century, Pallavas are going to become very dominant. Here Vakatakas, and this Vakataka family is very dominant during Gupta time period also. And when Guptas emerged there, they had matrimonial relationship with Vakatakas. Kadambas, they are the early patrons of, or the laid the foundation for Kannada. Now you can see the regional. When it comes to Ikshvakos, very important for Telugu, and Vakatakas, Marathi, gradually it's emerging. Kadambas, Kannada, Chola Chera Pandya, Tamil. Now from Prakrit to Sanskrit to vernacular languages. Now this is how we are moving. When it comes to Satavahana time period, earlier Prakrit was the official language. Then gradually shifted to Sanskrit language. Now gradually they are moving towards Telugu language. So this is how Prakrit language, Sanskrit language and vernacular language is emerging. This way it is going to disintegrate. Now, when they are controlling this land, they were controlling the trade also, commerce also, both internally as well as externally. Please note down this also. This will give decline of Satavahanas. Decline of Satavahanas. All of you up to here, fine? Shall I move to the next slide? Now, just during Satavahana time period only, Roman Empire, Iranians, Saudi Arabia, Southeast Asia this side, with Sri Lanka through Cholachera ports, that time it is going. And now Broch, Sopara, Masulipattnam. These are some of the outside ports. Internally, they were connecting with Python, Ujjain, Amaravati. These are various internal. Now they used to connect Madura, Pataliputra, and this goes to Takshila. So they were controlling this territory. West side ports, east side ports. Now it is natural conflict. Here you will see the conflict with the Kharavela, and here you have the conflicts with Shakas. And this is almost a universal phenomena in our Indian history, everywhere in the world also. Now you see, Shakas were also wanting to control this west coast, and Satavahanas also, they were fighting. Then when it comes to in the middle, geographical, how geography play an important role. Pallavas and Badami Chalukyas, they are going to fight for the Krishna Kaveri deltas. Krishna delta. Here, when it comes to Badami Chalukyas and this Raichur Duvab, that is the one contention. Later in medieval time period, Bahmani Sultanates and Vijayanagara kingdom, they are going to fight. Geography is same only. Bahmani and later after disintegration of Bahmani kingdom, Deccan Sultanates will emerge. They also wanted to control Raichur Duvab and the west coast. Vijayanagara Empire also wanted to control west coast. That is why again conflicts. So this is continuous phenomena. Just once you know the geography area, just you are going to replace the names and you are going to give the same reasons. This is how these played an important role. They used to trade with the Roman Empire, Persians, all right? Now you say, this is how they were controlling this area, and with this, this entire Roman Empire. Here, Sasanian. Now here Kushanas, they were controlling this way. This Silk Route is also going. And they used to connect with Southeast Asia. So this is how post-Mauryan period is going to see great developments when it comes to the trade network. Very well trade networks, and this side Chinese Empire, they were protected. When it comes to the causes for decline of Mauryan Empire, we have seen that they have even constructed Chinese Wall. As a result of Chinese Wall, they could stop the movement of these Central Asian tribes invasions. And they got the stability, and due to that stability, they were also flourishing. And they were also connecting with this Southeast Asian countries, this side, and this side West Asian countries. This is what exactly today China wants to revive this Silk Road. China and Pakistan Economic Corridor is one of the components of the One Belt, One Road initiative. And this is what exactly what they are talking about. In the ancient times, Silk Road connected deep east towards the west world, and now also China wanted to revive this and once again wanted to become world dominant power. We don't have any issue with that, and in fact we will benefit out of it. Our only concern is it should not go through our territory. Pakistan occupied Kashmir is our territory. But without consulting us, how can they take the road, China-Pakistan economic? That is our contention. They should not touch our territory. They should not compromise our territorial integrity. That is why for China and India, these are some of the irritants. And in every other area, these irritants are visible. And this side also, and this side also. And moreover, China is developing different ports in Sri Lanka, in Pakistan, in Myanmar, Bangladesh. Now it is like encircling India. There was a theory called string of pearls theory. In the name of developing Silk Road, China is also building the naval bases. And it is going against the peaceful coexistence principle which we signed with China long ago, Panchashil principle. That is why China keep on violating those friendly treaties or friendly relations. 1962 war, then string of bells, and now we are seeing different irritants. This is the contention. But in ancient times, this Silk Road was going this way. Here Kushanas were benefiting, and Kushanas were trading with Satavahanas also. Satavahanas are trading with Kushanas also. Satavahanas are using east coast and west coast for their. And similarly, Sangam, Chola, Chera, Pandyas were also having the ports. They were also trading with these areas. And this is how, as a result of these trade networks, lot of gold from Roman Empire, it used to come to India. And there were so many authors like Pliny. And Pliny was one Roman author. He used to say that a lot of gold is going towards to India, and Roman Empire administration should take some kind of measures. In this way, Satavahanas were benefiting the trade. As a result of this, so many merchandise activities emerged. People were very active. They were trading this way and this way and this way. As a result of this, Buddhism got so much favor out of these developments. When it comes to Buddhism, Vaishyas, they patronized a lot. Vaishyas involved in merchant activities. And these merchants, because of economic growth, they were getting a lot of income. With this income, they were donating to the Buddhist tradition. Buddhist monks, because of this lot of money, so many caves were also carved out in the Western Ghat area. And these caves are Ajanta caves, Karla, Kanheri, Bhaja, so many caves. So many caves in the Western Ghats carved out. And these are Buddhist caves. And later, after some time, for Hinduism also, we are going to see the temples. For example, Ellora, Elephanta caves. We are going to see different caves patronized by different rulers for different religions. In some caves, we find all the types of religions. By the time Badami Chalukyas will come, Badami caves we will see Jainism caves also, Hinduism caves also, Buddhist caves also. At this point of time, they were patronizing. This, because of these trade routes, it became very active. Merchants became very powerful. They were donating. Both rulers were also donating to the Buddhist monks, and both merchants and rulers both were giving the donations. Chaityas and Chaitya is prayer hall. Viharas. In the Buddhist tradition, one is for prayer and another for monk residential, monks' houses, residential houses where they can stay during summer time period or winter time period. So this is how different dynamics are going on. Satavahanas benefited out of this existing network. Please note down, you please make a rough map that India is here, Roman Empire, this side Silk Road, and just mention this. When I am going to give you the model answers for mains answer writing, you should be able to imagine all these things. All of you following? If you have any doubt, please ask me. If you have good command over geography, history is very, very easy and you will well connect. Only timeline according to time scale, you are just going to see the change in the story. But almost the themes are going to be the same. Just in this part, there are so many questions, mains questions. Like India's trade connections with Southeast Asia, one separate question. India's trade with Western or Roman Empire, one question. And Pliny's statement, do you justify that Roman gold is coming towards India? One question was there. Development of art and architecture during post-Mauryan time period, one question was there. There was one question, do you think post-Mauryan period is a dark period? One question was there. In front of you, this is the evidence. When this area, this timeline is progressing, how can we consider it as a dark period? Economically progressing, culture, art and culture-wise is progressing. Society-wise also, society is becoming more and more tolerant, if you see this. Whoever the ruler, they are patronizing all the religions, all the cultures. So society is also becoming more tolerant. Then how can we say that it is a dark age? We have to substantiate. Only politically, there is no single centralized authority. But even if centralized authority is there, these are the parameters to say that if a particular empire is a glorious one. That is why these good developments were happening in post-Mauryan period. We are going to substantiate all of them one by one. That content I will give you. But when I am going to give you that content, you should be able to imagine these things. Please note down this. Next, we are going to see Kalingas and Chola Chera Pandya. And with that, and also Parthians, not much, only few points. With that political angle, we are going to finish. This understanding will help you when I am going to give you the mains answers. Please let me know once it is done, so that I can continue next point. When it comes to GS, in prelims also, so many questions are there. So many questions used to come with respect to post-Mauryan. It used to give a lot of very good connectivity with the rest of the period. So for general studies point of view also, very important topic, this one. Is it done? Can I go to the next point? Next, we are going deep south. Chola, Chera, Pandya. Sangam kingdoms. Cholas, Pandyas, Cheras, please mention this. And deep south, if we see, (10,000 BC), 3,000 BC, 1,000 BC, and deep south in this time period, Mesolithic, Neolithic, megalithic tradition, and this megalithic tradition continues 1000 BC. Hello? Any doubts, students? Then 600 BC, 300 BC, now 1st century BC. Now after that, 1st century BC, next 1st century AD, 2nd century AD, 3rd century AD. 1600, 300 and 1st century BC. This is Mesolithic, Neolithic, Megalithic. Here megalithic tradition is continuing. This megalithic, while megalithic tradition is going on, here early Vedic, early Vedic period is going on, later Vedic period is going on, then Mahajanapada period is going on. And during this time period, you will find cultural interaction also. It may be slow, but cultural interaction used to take place. These Brahmanical order reaches here also. During Mahajanapada time period, Ashmaka, Mahajanapada was there. Connectivity takes place. Because this area is far away, it has developed its own culture, own language. That's why, in comparison with this part and other parts, the vernacular language Tamil emerged much earlier in this part. Because it is geographically far away from these influences, and without a break, Mesolithic, Neolithic, Megalithic, then continuously megalithic tradition is going on. During this megalithic phase, religious developments, society, economy, everything was taking shape. And they started using iron technology. Society, well-integrated society is emerging. And hilly area people have different type of culture. Then plain area have different type of culture. Pastoral people have different kind of culture. So unique culture is emerging by this time period. Now, economy-wise also, gradually, ports are also, because they are completely connected with the ocean. This side ocean, this side ocean, this side ocean. Naturally, they look for economic activities based on the ocean also. That's why fishing, pearl fishing, and other oceanic related activities also gradually taking shape. By Sangam time period is the period what we call from 300 BC to 300 AD. This time period we call Sangam age. But before 300 BC itself, developments were already taking place in the form of megalithic. We are calling them as megalithic cultures. By this time, iron technology, society is emerging, economic activities are emerging, and religion-wise also. For example, Murugan is an important deity in when it comes to megalithic traditions and continued in the Sangam period also. And in their graves, trident. So whatever Shiva weapon, trident, is also seen in the graves, in the iron weapons. Already you can see these traditions there. Now when Brahmanical tradition is also talking about these, naturally that connectivity takes place, and Brahmanical ideas also entered here. And according to mythology, sage Agastya, he was the one who brought Brahmanism to our Vedic traditions to this location. Even today also in Western Ghats region, some of the hills, one hill is Agastya Malai. You will see in environment also, Agastya Malai, tiger reserves related, biosphere reserve related. How these names are coming? Because historically there is some kind of story or legend behind these names. Brahmanical tradition also entered by Sangam period. Now I will write by 300 BC, 200 BC. From here, already from north, Buddhism emerged. Buddhism also reached deep south. Jainism also. Then Vedic practices also. On top of it, local practices. And these traditions, they are going to represent in the form of Tamil literature. It is not a single literature, it is not a single book. There are so many compilations, so many people, so many poets started writing about these society, economy, politics. And these so many poets, poems, prose, combinedly we call Sangam literature. And in order to know about the deep south history, between this period, our source is Tamil literature, Sangam literature. And whatever you can just have comparison with Vedic traditions also. When it comes to Vedic traditions, you have praisings of the gods, and in the later Vedic tradition, we have different, like Sanskrit grammar is there. So you are going to see this in Sangam literature also. The content towards the praisings of the gods also you will see. Their Sanskrit grammar, here Tamil grammar you are going to see. And here, they are going to talk about the kingdoms, and here also they talk about the kingdoms. They talk about wars and battles. Sangam literature also talks about wars and battles. Broadly, this Sangam wars and love. Broadly, the entire Sangam literature can be broadly categorized based on this. Some literature talks about wars, some literature talks about love. So much literature developed over a period of time. And this Sangam meaning is, it's like orally they composed initially, like Rig Veda. No one has written, but it has so many hymns. How these many hymns came in Rig Veda? Different sages, different people, they composed the praisings of the god. Later, all these things compiled into single place that we call Rig Veda. When it comes to Deep South, same is the case here also. Now the rulers during this time period, particularly the Pandyans, they wanted to bring all the literature into one place. It's like first Buddhist council. Now you see, you keep comparing the same tradition in different religions, different tradition, only different people contributed. But the idea remains the same. Here, first Buddhist council, second Buddhist council, in this Pataliputra, third Buddhist council, or fourth Buddhist council. With respect to Buddhism, why these Buddhist council were held? So many ideas were there. When it comes to first Buddhist council, just immediately after the death of Buddha, Ajatashatru wanted to bring all the disciples of Buddha and he wanted to ensure what Buddha was teaching, so that all the teachings of Buddha will be there in one place. Similarly, before this, already similar kind of practice has already happened when it comes to Vedas. Here, for 500 years, Vedic hymns were composed. For these 500 years, combined we call Rig Veda. Then later Vedic, Puranas, Upanishads, all these are taking shape. Buddhist literature also taking shape. Jainism literature also taking shape. And already by 300 BC, already these developments. Now, when it comes to here, Ashoka Empire also reached. And Ashoka, already in his inscriptions, he also mentions Chola, Chera, Pandya. Chola, Chera, Pandyas. He used to mention Satyaputras, Keralaputras, but we don't know who are the Satyaputras. Keralaputras, we can assume they are the Cheras. During Ashoka time period itself, they are there. And they have developed their own culture. And similar to Buddhist councils, they held assemblies. First assembly, second assembly, third assembly, we call first Sangam, second Sangam, third Sangam. And all the different ideas that are there in the society, all were composed, compiled in systematic way. That is giving evidence for us that in order to understand how people were living from 300 BC to 300 AD, this literature will help a lot. All right? So this is how Sangam literature emerged, and particularly in Madurai region. This Sangam literature flourished. All these ideas were composed in this. Now here, whatever they mentioned there, it talks about their polity, their economy, their society, their religious beliefs. In our optional, these are the questions. How Sangam literature help us in order to reconstruct socio-economic religious conditions of Tamil land? That is the main question. But you have to understand, It is not an isolated one. While these developments are happening already in North India also, you have to see. Because when you talk about economy, Tamil economy or Sangam economy is not going to be different one. Because they are going to have connectivity with this area also, Western world also. And if I take this particular, just I will few moments, then I will give you the time to note down. This is the one. Now, here, Mujeris. There was one important port that belongs to Chera. Korkai. One important port related to Pandyas. Puhar or Kaveri Patnam. That is another. And particularly why I am giving these areas, we have map question also. The first question of history optional is map only. In map, they mention these things only. Important Pandyan port, Korkai. Important Chola port, Puhar. Important Chera port, Mujiris. Now, these are the places they used to connect with the Roman world, Roman Empire. And these used to connect with Southeast Asia. And Korkai, this side also, this side also, this side also, and Puhar also, this side also. And Roman authors like Pliny, then Periples of Erythraean Sea. It was a Greek book. It also talks about how this area is well connected trade-wise. Mujeres, Korkai, Puhar. Because of Roman Empire connectivity, so many Romans used to settle. Roman settlements also we find. Roman settlements. Roman people used to, they are the traders. Like today, Indians are trading in Africa. Indians settle in Africa. Indians are trading in China. They settle in China. Similarly, when Roman Empire people are coming and trading here, Romans used to settle. Probably Indians also might have settled here. But problem is we don't have much evidence. When it comes to here, we have evidence of Roman settlements. Their Roman coins we got. Roman type of wine potteries we got. Roman coins we got. And in some of the places, the temples, Roman temples were also there. Here in Muziris, one temple was also constructed for Roman Emperor, Augustus. There was one popular emperor in Roman Empire. And as a respect, or it is a Roman type of colony, probably Roman colony, they were worshipping king and their king idol was also there. Roman Augustus temple. So this way Roman Empire and Sangam kingdoms also connected. Satavahanas also connected. They were also flourishing. And from this side, Silk Road, again, through Silk Road also, they are connected. This Silk Road was coming towards this side also, this Gangetic Valley also. This Uttarapada and connected with Dakshinapada also. This way, all are connected. You have to remember about the moment your question is about Sangam means, you should think about Satavahanas also, then Shungas also, Kharavela also, Kushanas also, Shakas also. Then only your answer is going to be well enriched. You can give a lot of evidence. Please remember, whenever you are studying about any particular area, always remember what is happening in the other part of India also, other part of world also. Now please note down up to here. Any doubts up to here? Please ask me. All of you clear? Please note down this. You please let me know in which location you have to note down. This is where I began, Sangam Kingdom. Please note down one by one. All of you clear? Is there any doubts? After Sangam, then we will see Kharavela, and with Kharavela we will end today. By this time, now you get complete idea about the different areas of Indian subcontinent. All of you, please let me know. If you have written this slide, then I'll go to the next one. Sanju, Shweta, Kanchan, Nadia, have you written up to here? Anyone still writing? Done. Okay, good. Now this one. Mention this. Only if you know what is happening in different parts, then only you can really appreciate. No development in our history will develop out of vacuum. Always some kind of previous connection you will see always. Mention this. Anyone still writing in this slide?
Yes, sir. Writing now.
Okay, okay. Please continue. Okay.
Done, sir. Now next, please.
This one done?
Third, sir.
Okay. By the time we reach post-Mauryan, there are so many map-based settlements also, map-based points, map pointing, different type of ports, map questions, different capital, a capital site, port site, a Buddhist site, a Jaina site, a temple site. Temples are yet to come. From Gupta time period onwards, the temples will come. But up to now, you see, there are no temples. Buddhist caves, cave sites, painting sites, Ajanta caves, we are going to see. So this way, by post-Mauryan time period itself, almost entire India, we got good evidence of what is happening in different locations. So many map-related points also there by this time period. This slide, still writing someone? Shall I wait or shall I continue? This broadly mention Roman Empire, Greek Periplex of Erythraean Sea. It talks about different ports, how connectivity is taking place, different Indian ports. Now, like Buddhism, Jainism, Puranic tradition. Now we are going to see new force in West Asia. What is happening in post-Mauryan time period? Which religion is emerging by this time period now? Any idea? A new religion is emerging now, contemporary to these developments in Jerusalem. Christianity, Jesus. So this is the time period. Already Judaism is there, Jewish is there. Now next we are going to deal with that only now. Just mentioned here. Shall I continue? All of you have noted down everything? I am moving to the next kingdom, that is Orissa now. Kharavela, Odisha. Now you can observe Shungas canvas, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Haryana, this area. Madhya Pradesh also. Then Satavahanas, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka. Sangam, Tamil Nadu, Kerala region. Eastern side, Orissa, Kharavela. Now you see, in post-Mauryan time period, the post-Mauryan time period laid the foundation for regional identities also. They are not centralized, they are individually different countries or different kingdoms. They were very powerful in their own local areas. But culturally, you can see how all these, it's like today we are having so many states, but culturally all these states are connected. We have today centralized government, we have additional advantage also. When it comes to Mauryan time period also, they also had centralized administration, at the same time culturally also connected. In post-Mauryan time period, even though politically segmentation was there, but culturally all people were united. So this is the greatest strength of India. That is why India is surviving. If there is no that cultural unity, India will not survive. India will always break into multiple pieces. North becomes separate country, South becomes separate country, North is separate country, West separate country. But one common point which is connecting every one of us is our culture. So this is one of the major reasons why UPSC gives so much attention to art and culture. Politically, kingdoms will keep on change, politicians will keep on change, but culturally we are always united. When it comes to Odisha also, here you will see, as of now, Brahmanical revivalism taking place, Buddhist patronage, but Kharavela is known for patronizing Jainism. In the eastern part, Kalinga, and in his conquest he even conquered Magadha also. So this is now you see, it's very interesting development is taking place. Up to now, Magadha is very powerful. Magadha conquered all the territories. But now what is happening? Magadha itself is being conquered by other people. It shows the weakness of Magadha by this time period. But up to now, it is the most powerful kingdom, most powerful empire. This Magadha, Pataliputra region, Greeks reached up to here. They invaded Magadha. So it shows weakness. And these Greek rulers were there when Kharavela, powerful ruler of Kalinga, Kharavela defeated Greeks and he pushed Greeks away from this Magadha region. And from Magadha, he brought a Jina or statue of Tirthankar. Kharavela, how we got to know about these details? There was a inscription called Hathi Gumpa inscription. This inscription gives a detailed biography of Kharavela. It is like a book. This book explains what Kharavela was doing. If someone, suppose when there is for example, Gandhi is there. There are authors who have written about Gandhi life. Nehru is there, Nehru life. It's like biography, like Samudragupta life, Ashoka life. Ashoka's life was written by Buddhist texts. Similarly, here Kharavela inscription talks about the life of Kharavela. It talks in the childhood, he was like this. In the first, when he came to the throne, in first year he has done this. In second year he has done this. Third year this done. So it's properly recorded. And from this Hathi Gumpa inscription, we come to know these details. Like he conquered Magadha also. He brought back the glory of Jina statue, Jina idol image. Brought back. And it was taken, earlier it was part of Kalinga. This idol was taken to Magadha by Nanda ruler. Nanda's taken away this image. It was kept in Magadha. When he now raided Magadha, he brought back this particular image. So that shows he reinstalled the glory of Jainism in Kalinga once again. It talks about the conquest of Kalinga with respect to Satavahanas also. This Hathi Gumpa inscription tells he defeated Satavahana rulers and he reached up to Sangam kingdoms also. Now you can see this. If we believe Hathi Gumpa inscription in literal sense purely, from northern to deep south, the entire east coast came under single authority, that is Kalinga. So this entire east coast stretch under this. Now you see how powerful it can become if this entire coast belongs to one particular kingdom. So this continuously commanded Southeast Asian trade. This is what Kalinga. Now it talks about the kind of welfare measures he has taken to his people also. During Nanda time period, canals were constructed. One canal was constructed. And Kharavela talks about this canal was extended to the new areas also. So that shows irrigation. Irrigation activities taken by the state. Now you remember this eastern side, this one, exactly similar kind of irrigation policy you will see in this also. Junagadh. Inscription also talks about Sudarshana Lake. When you are going to write any question related to economy of post-Mauryan or agriculture of post-Mauryan, you should not miss these 2 points. State was involving in the welfare activities like irrigation. Kharavela Hathi Gumpa inscription gives about canal dug by Nandas, extended by Kharavela. When it comes to Junagadh, the Sudarshana Lake constructed by Mauryans, repaired by Rudradaman. Later, the same lake was repaired by Guptas also, later, Skandagupta time period. This shows since ancient time period, state was involving in the irrigation activities. So here, you have to give details about Hathi Gumpa, Kalinga, Kharavela. When it comes to the dynasty name is Maha Mega Vahana dynasty. Dynasty name is Maha Mega Vahana dynasty, also Chedi dynasty. This is the dynasty name. Kalinga is the region name. Kharavela is the most powerful ruler of this dynasty. We know about his history from Hathi Gumpa inscription, and these are the other details we come to know about from this. Please note down this one. Then with this, we are almost done. Now, except this part, we have to see Parthian ruler is there. That will connect with the Christianity. That's why I stopped it till now. Please note down this. After this, we will talk about Christianity, how Christianity also reached India. Then with that, we are going to stop today's class. Tomorrow, I am going to give you the answer writing styles, how we have to answer if questions come from post-Mauryan time period. Tomorrow I will give you all the previous year questions also, topic by topic, and we are going to see how we have to write the answers with evidences.
Sir, please read this point. Children need statue. I'm not getting it.
Okay, there was one image of Jain Tirthankara's image. It was initially there in Kalinga kingdom. Kalinga people used to see it as very precious one and they were protecting it. During Nanda time period, Mahapadmananda, he was conquering. Magadha imperialist policy, Magadhas conquered different territories. Mahapadmananda, he conquered Kalinga also. When he was conquering this, he has taken Jainism ideal to Magadha. Kalinga people felt it is very insult to the Kalinga people and they were always looking back that at any point of time they should be brought back to Kalinga once again. When Kalinga ruled under Kharavela, now he started campaigns to the north side, to the south side. In his north campaign, he attacked Magadha also. By this time, Magadha was very weak. And he brought back the same idol which Mahapadmananda or Nanda's taken. He brought back that idol and he installed in Kalinga. So it says he once again reinstalled the glory of Jainism in Kalinga.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Suppose you think like this in the present circumstance. All of you know Kohinoor diamond. Now in which location Kohinoor diamond is there? In which part of the world Kohinoor diamond is there? Kohinoor diamond belongs to India. But is it located in India at this point of time? Any idea where it is? It is not in India. It is in Britain. It is in London. It is now on the crown of British Queen. Now, if someone in future bring back this Kohinoor diamond to India, won't we respect that person? Because once Kohinoor diamond was a prestigious one, it was taken by foreigners. In those times, all Indians, the concept of India is today we are saying all these people are same. But in those times, yesterday also I told, different kingdoms used to behave in a different way. For Kalinga, Magadha is foreigner. For Magadha, Kalinga is foreigner. That is why politically they were fighting. But when it comes to culture, it used to integrate. Now you see, for Magadhan also Jainism is important. For Kalinga people also Jainism is important. For Shungas, Brahmanism is important. For Satavahanas also Brahmanism is important. Culture-wise, again, same idea, same connectivity, but politically they were bitter rivalries. So this way you have to identify that. So likewise, if someone in future, if Kohinoor diamond comes back to India, definitely we remember that person also. Is it? So similar to that, in those times, these are the prizes. Now, the last slide for today's class. You please mention. Now we need to note down the West Asia also. Just you keep note down along with me. Here, Jerusalem. Now you see this. By, in the chronology wise, 30 AD, 1st AD, 50 AD. We don't know exact timeline also, but after the death of Jesus, like Buddha, he was having many disciples. Vardhamana Mahavira, different disciples. Similarly, Jesus was also having important disciples. After the death of Jesus, 12 disciples, they went to different parts of the globe. They have taken the gospel of Christianity, the gospel, the word of Jesus to different places. And one was Saint Thomas. And he reached in this part. There was one ruler called Gondopharnes. He was a Parthian ruler. Parthian ruler means Iran based. He reached here, then he reached Kerala. Some people took Christianity and he traveled now Madras or Chennai. He died. His tomb is also located. Saint Thomas' tomb is located near Madras now. For Christians in India, this area is one of the important pilgrimage site. Like later in medieval time, Sufi saints, when Sufi saint die, if there is any tomb for Sufi saint, people call it as a dargah, people used to go and worship. Similarly, for Christianity, this is one of the important settlement in India. This Kerala, even today also, these people are called Syrian Catholics. Even today also, some Christians in Kerala take the pride that they were initially accepted the Christianity in the days of Saint Thomas. So this shows, and by this time, Jewish also there. And according to legend, it says, when Saint Thomas reached Kerala, he was invited by a Gaul, Jewish Gaul, while playing the flute. Jewish Gaul invited Saint Thomas. That means Judaism is also there. Now you see, Judaism also born here, Christianity also born. No Islam at this time. Islam will come after 600 years. At this point of time, these things. Now you see, India is home for the whatever we call today Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and here Zoroastrianism, then Judaism, Christianity. On top of it, so many other tribal religions and Greek gods, Greek religions. So India is home for different type of religions, different type of ideologies. And we always know how to live peacefully, coexistence. Even when ruler is personally accepting some kind of religion, still on the ground level, encouraging every religion. So this is what, by 1st century BC itself, all the known world great religions are there in India also. And when Islam comes, natural Islam also reaches India. In future, after 500 years, if some other new religion becomes so popular, that also will reach India. So this land is always connected because it is not something isolated one. We are always globalized. Our globalization did not start in 1991. It was always, we were always globalized. Religious ideologies wise, religion wise accepting, ideas wise accepting, trade wise accepting, political system wise also accepting. So this is always, India is always open society. Openly we accept every new idea. And that is how Indian society is learned. The concept, the so-called modern concept of secularism, without knowing that this is a kind of secularism, we Indians were always secular. This is the evidence we are getting. All of you clear up to here? This is what we have seen, that how politically different regions under different areas, different rulers, economically how it is connected, transportation wise connected, religions wise connected. With this understanding, now tomorrow onwards, we are going to start our mains answer writing. While I am going to give you the points, you will not have any doubts. So whenever you get the doubts tomorrow, you please ask me so that I can explain once again. Clear? Sanju, Shweta, Kanchan, Nadia, all of you? Okay, good. Tomorrow we will continue. All right? Thank you. Tomorrow we will meet.